of Chester.
Okay, folks, we are live another Monday night. It is Delco Sports 360.com. Dave Burman here, cmpradio.net. And a special guest tonight is the one and the only 1999 grad of Chester High, Asaad Brown, number 23. How you doing, Asaad? Great to see you again. It's been years and years and years.
Yeah, I've been doing good.
And we'll get to your high school basketball career. A lot to start, a lot to talk about there. You played with Jameer for a couple of years. You saw him develop. But right now, we're going to focus on your first priority mentoring and leadership foundation. And tell us all about that, helping out boys and girls, not only just in Chester. Is it just Chester, or is it all, Delco?
It's Delco.
Okay.
I've been mentoring kids for many a years by now. I work at Camelot. It's in Chester High School on the second floor. And this mentor leadership program was something I thought about like many years ago, and I just said I might as well just start it. So it's in the process of building now.
Nice. First priority mentoring and leadership foundation, girls and boys aged 7 to 17. It's 2 Saturdays per month from 1 to 3 p.m. Talk about how people can get involved in that and register their youngster.
So I have my Facebook page is Asaad Brown. I have a QR code. You could register your kid. It's $15 for a registration fee, and if you go on one day it's $30, 2 days is $50. That's pretty much it. It's located in Southwest Philly right now.
Oh, that's where you guys are? Okay.
Yes, I'm in the process of trying to bring it back to my hometown, Chester, PA, now. So I have to meet with a couple people within the next week or two.
So what are you going to try to do, and how are you going to try to help out the kids?
Like I said, life skills, just everyday living. Try to teach them something that's different between, you don't got to be on the streets or the corners. It's a better way of living. Just like culinary arts. It's going to be all type of different things we're going to teach them. We're going to be taking trips out the country, and like I said, just make them be kids.
Asaad, you had you work at Camelot. Tell us about that at the high school. Full-time job. You're pretty much your hours there, and you work with a lot of Chester legends, guys been around.
Yes, so I work with Kenneth Tate, Fareed Burton, Najib Rashid, Bobby Robinson, and Shire McBride.
Oh man, that's an all-star team right there.
Yes, and my director is Dan Patika.
Oh, so. I just saw Dan a couple of times down in Avalon, New Jersey. His son is really Ian Patika. Yes. He is doing a great job. He's going to go into his 10th grade year at Springford High School. They live up in Montgomery County near Pottstown. So yeah. That's awesome. So Dan's basically your boss?
Kenny Tate is my supervisor. So
Kenny's a supervisor.
So Patika is my boss.
Oh, so what do you guys do there?
It's an overage undercredited program. It's a 2-year program. We basically just try to teach the kids manners and just make sure they stay on the right path. You're gonna get some pushback, but at the end of the day, they know we're there to help them.
How do you deal with the pushback?
Like I said,
From the kids.
Oh, we just work. We work.
Yeah.
We work. Everybody work
Yeah.
for kids
Oh,
so
yeah.
long, so it ain't
Right.
about nothing. Like it's tough love.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be like a coach.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So basically, you guys are coaches, and the great Bobby Robinson. You're a little bit too young, but boy, did he have some battles with Chester back in 1989 in the second round. They played Chester, I think, like 3-4 times that year. Yeah. That's the year Chester won the state championship with the great Keith Wood and the late, great Mike Johnson, Galen Howard. Zane was a sophomore, Zane Shaw. So Bobby probably tells you about that second-round state playoff game that went double overtime.
We talk about everything. Like I said, I knew Bobby Robinson. I call him BR. So I've been known him for a long, long time, and he's definitely a legend.
Yeah, his son Lewis playing college basketball at Newman. Kenny Tate, you played at least one full year with Kenny, 97, 98. Your junior year, Kenny was a senior. Rami Davis, among others, and Kenny's still helping out the Chester High boys basketball program.
Absolutely, and Fareed Burton is actually coaching up the Upland Hurricanes.
Yes, Fareed's my man.
Yeah, so like I said, they're a good group to work with. I mean, like it's nothing but laughter, but we just get the job done at work.
And those guys know what it's all about. Growing up in the area, growing up, I don't want to say on the streets, but in a kind of a tougher environment
Absolutely.
than maybe the suburbs.
Absolutely, but like I said, you just gotta deal with what you got.
Yeah. Tell me about. And one thing I need to have is better patience myself. How do you have the patience, and you really can't lose the cool, lose your cool with the kids?
It's something you gotta learn. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Like the kid's gonna give you pushback because that's the population you're dealing with.
Right.
So you just gotta let them say what they're gonna say. At the end of the day, I'm gonna come back to you. I could just say if it's a problem and I see you upset, I just leave and come back. But I'm going to definitely come back and try to get this.
So Camelot's actually in Chester High.
Yes, it is.
And what time do you guys usually get there in the morning?
Work starts at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. And you're dealing just with Chester High students?
I'm dealing, Camelot is an alternative program inside Chester High School. So
gotcha.
We got our, Chester High sent us kids. I guess that didn't do
work.
No,
okay.
So it's more, we had a lot of kids that was, due to the COVID, they wasn't doing the work on computers, so they sent them to us. So we trying to, most of the time we help them catch up on their credits faster than they do upstairs.
Yeah, nice. So how many years you been working at Chester?
7.
7 years. To your career, you graduated Chester High in 1999. Can you believe that's coming up? I'm kind of exaggerating here. Almost a quarter of a century, 25 years, but it's going to be 24. But then you took some time off before you went to college and played at Cheney.
Yes, I went to Cheney University, where I think 2004, 2005, I averaged about 25 a game.
Nice.
Out there.
You said Cleo Hill.
Yes, he's actually the coach at Winston-Salem right now.
Great. That's an awesome program down south. That's North Carolina.
Yes.
I do believe. So tell us about the experience there at Cheney University.
It was, before I attended Cheney, Hassan Muhammad, I was going up there with him.
Big Haas.
He was up there, yes, Big Haas. So, I got a chance to know some of the guys. Then I ended up going there, and it was a good experience. We went to Hawaii.
I can imagine, yeah.
There was something pretty cool we did. But
so every time you mention these guys' names, I'm going to keep bringing up the unbelievable experiences. Haas graduated Chester in 1991. We went to the state semis that year. Did you go to the Chester games growing up, or when did you start going? Your mom and dad bring you to the games.
I'm gonna say maybe.
So at least the mid-'90s.
Yes.
Because you were starting to play ball back then.
Yeah, but I was more into football than basketball at that time.
And you didn't play football?
No, I didn't.
For the Clippers, huh?
I didn't. I disappointed Najee Rashid. That's
what I
did.
Yeah,
because we grew up playing Parkside.
Yeah, but we're going to get to that. Because I have the boxy. These are. Even though I was on the radio in Harrisonburg, Virginia back then, I drove up to a bunch of Chester High games when I come visit the family and saw some big ones. Saw some big ones at 97, 98. You were on the team, obviously. You were junior. And then 98, 99, you started for the team that went 24-5 before losing to Williamsport. All right, back to Cheney. What did you learn there, and how has it helped you in your career, that the job you're doing now?
It just, I guess when I went to college, it was like self-discipline. Like, you're on your own, and I guess like at Chester High, we talk about defense first.
Oh yeah. The great Fred Pickett.
Yes, it carried over to Cheney, but we didn't get too many wins. But it was a learning process. It was okay.
Guess who's checking in? Mark Francis Jr., who graduated. Mark, do I got this right here? 2003, the team that lost to State College. It went to the state finals. What more can you say? District 1 champs that you also won in 99 over Pennsbury.
Yes.
Remember that well.
Yeah.
And Mark's checking in. He's doing a great job in the community. His dad and grandfather, both absolute legendary Chester High basketball fans. Mark Sr., and then, of course, Bunky Francis. You remember the old heads, right? How'd you deal with the old heads back in the day?
I remember.
I mean, you could always hear them, right?
Absolutely. Cheering.
You talk about tough love.
Yes. Always tough love. But like I said, it made you to the man you are today.
No doubt about it. And you played under the great Fred Pickett. You had Ketty Harris. I'm trying to think who.
Keith Teller.
Yeah, Keith was.
Fred Moon.
Fred was assistant coach at the time.
Mr. Shelton.
Yep.
Those are all my coaches.
Late great Coach Pickett. What more can you say?
Great man. Like I said, I grew up. They like family to me. The Picketts. I grew up with the Picketts.
Sean, Fred Jr.
Yes, they like family to me.
Yeah. Sean's got a state championship.
Yeah,
Played on the 2000 team with Jameer. Mark, actually, Francis Jr. graduated 2004. That was a loaded team also. But it just District 1 champs that year. Then ran into York High in the first round. So you were at Cheney at that time.
Yes.
So tell us what you learned from Keith. Let's start with all the coaches. First of all, Fred. Let's get into what he meant to you in your career.
So Coach Pickett, he believed in me. I think my junior year, like I said, I didn't get too much time because I had Kenny Tate and Rodney Davis ahead of me. So I was like actually pretty good at practice, but it didn't translate to the game. So.
Right. And Kenny, Mr. Fire, he still comes to the games. He's all intense. Ketty Harris.
Yeah.
He's got your back.
Yes,
no doubt.
he got my back, no doubt. But he tough love. Like it's
oh,
like
yeah.
He gonna get on you when you wrong. But I didn't take it too hard.
He still gets on me. So Chester Clippers. So the 90s. All right, let's talk about your coming up through the program. Who were some of your coaches when you were starting to play 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade before high school?
I wasn't. To be honest with you, I wasn't good at all. I played Biddy, but I wasn't that good. I think my middle school coach was Derek Spence.
Oh yeah, state champ, 1989.
Smedley Middle School.
Right.
I think I got better from my 8th grade to 9th grade year. I went from averaging maybe 3, 8th grade to like 15, 17 at my 9th grade.
So your 9th grade year was, let's see, that should have been 95, 96. And we have Jean-Pierre Bryce's child enjoying the broadcast, running around our studio.
Yeah, so I got
here.
better, I think, that summer. That summer from 8th going to 9th, I remember growing up, it was more football. I moved to the east side. That's when I started playing basketball.
Right. So 95, 96, you played on the Chester 9th grade team?
Yes.
And that was an unbelievable year. That was Fred's first year.
Yes.
We ran into Kobe twice.
Yes, I think that was.
I'm sure you were at those games.
Yes, that might have been the first time I really started going to basketball games. Probably like 95.
Right, 95, 95, 90. And the 95 team, defending state champs, they got knocked out by Williamsport.
Okay.
That was a second round state playoff game in overtime. So 95, 96, you never had the chance to play against Kobe, but you saw him beat Chester in the District 1 championship game, and then in the state semifinal game at the Palestra.
Yes,
do you remember that?
I was there. All
right, the next year, 96, 97, for Chester was kind of a rebuilding year, and you had Fareed, and you had my man, Akeem Smith. among others on that
Yes,
squad.
yes.
And Akeem, he was Mr. Energizer Bunny. Fareed.
Yes.
And the great Larry Fain, who I still see. So
Yes.
tell us about those guys.
You know what, Fareed, so me and Fareed was on the same team at Biddy. And like I played against all of them at Biddy. Like I
Right.
wasn't that good, but I played against them. So
Right.
I remember watching them. Like I liked all of them. Like they was all good. They all brought something different to the team. Like Fareed was the energy. And,
Oh, he was tough. Still tough,
and
yeah.
Larry Fain could shoot it. And
Yep.
Hakeem was just had the moves, and he was just very, very active. I loved everybody on the team.
Right. Did you play on the JV team?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you start in, that was 96, 97?
Yes, I started. That was I think Keith. I want to say Keith Teller might have been my coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Fred's second
Or
year.
Fred Moon. It was one of the two. I can't remember.
Do you remember the boys and girls? Remember them from New York? They came down, and Chester had a lot of guys out that night. It was a big game because it was Chester versus New York.
Okay.
And it was boys, and they had a lady coach too. Ruth Lovelace was her name. And they came to Chester, and it was just Chester won it. It was a crazy game. It was a Saturday night.
I remember the game, but I don't can't remember.
But you'll remember 1997 though.
Yes.
All right, so you made varsity.
Yes.
And that was a good team there also. So I'm going to go into the archives here. Is that okay with you?
That's
and,
fine.
The box scores and there's.
So my junior year, I could tell you the best game I had was against Penwood at home. I think I might have had like 11 or 13. And my name was in the paper, and I felt like I was the man.
the junior year.
Yes.
Junior year. So Chester, they went to the state playoffs.
Yes.
In 97 and lost to Harrisburg in the first round. All right. Now I'm going through the archives here. Okay. Oh, that Plymouth Whitemarsh game was crazy.
I remember
97.
that. That's when Kenny Tate. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Yep.
And then you had the game with Abington.
I think Trent Whitemarsh had Chucky Moore. If I'm
Yeah,
mistaken.
they won the state championship
Yeah.
with Chuck in '97.
Yeah, I remember
Chuck
that.
Moore, Salmons, John Salmons played in the NBA.
Yep, I remember that.
All right, so then December, not your senior year, this first game, I actually went to this game. You went up 90. No, this is your junior year. I'm sorry, 97, 98. You remember the Harrisburg game? I drove up for that game. And anytime Chester played Harrisburg, it was old Camp Curtin. And Chester lost a tough one, 77-74. Kenny Tate on Saturday, December 13th, 1997. Kenny had 30 points.
Yeah.
30 points. And Jameer, that's the first time I saw Jameer because Chester came into the game 3-0. So that was only maybe his fourth game he played, and he tore it up, but he got injured. And he only had, it really hurt Chester. And Harrisburg went on to win the state championship that year. And there's Asaad, and I don't know if you got into that game or
I
not.
did.
But guys like Rami, Lamar Prattis, there you go.
That's my guy.
6'3" senior. Here's Najib Rashid.
That's my guy.
6 foot senior. William Hunter had a great game. Eventually went to the NFL. Tell us
Yes.
about William. He was a senior.
So William Hunter, he was more like a defensive player. Like I remember William Hunter, just very active, very active.
He scored 13 against
Yeah,
Harrisburg.
he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad at all.
Right, and then Andre Morton was a junior.
Yes,
and then so there we go. We have that one, and then I went up to the next Saturday. It came up again. You guys played South Philly, and you blew them out 62-45 at the clip joint. And the guys like Kenny Tate 20, Rami with 2, and Najib. Let's see, Jameer had 2. Suni Blackwell is doing great. Yeah, Suni was a senior on that
Yes.
team. And so, it was, then you guys made it all the way to, the second round of the states. And you lost to, remember who you lost to? Marquise Green.
Yeah, that was Norristown.
Yep,
Yep, I remember that.
at Coatesville.
At Norristown. I think, it was at Coatesville. I remember that.
I'm trying to see if you got into some of these games here.
No, I did.
Yes, you scored a point in this game here. And it was an overtime game, Asaad. And it was I drove up to Spingarn. It was a win. You won 78-73. It was at the Capital City Classic, January 10th, 1998. And you beat Spingarn in their backyard. And it was at American University, and you got in there and you made a foul shot in the first quarter. And Chester pulled it at 18 points apiece. Kenny Tate Rami Davis. You get some messages up there, Mark Francis. Okay, thank you, Mark. You got it. So I want to get to your senior year now. Is this okay? You reliving this stuff here?
Yeah, that's fine.
You find it. So you have a dream. I had a dream. You'll probably think that Dave Burman and I were sitting down, and he had all these boxes. Yeah, this is real life right here. All right, 90 Atlantic City game, man.
It's this one.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, March of '98. I want to get to some of these. All right, January of '99. All right, we'll start with some of the unbelievable. It was an unbelievable year, '99. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, you played St. Anthony's.
That was
a Saturday, February the 13th.
against Al Harrington.
Yes,
Yeah,
you had a kid, a sophomore, Tony Tate for St. Anthony's. He had 23 points. Maurice Jackson, 6'8" with 20. He beat us 74-54. We were hanging there for a while.
That was actually a good game. I remember that game.
Yes.
I remember that game. They wasn't that much better than us.
Exactly. But they just that's
guess
too
like
big, too
turnovers,
strong.
yeah.
Yeah, and you talk about recruiting. Bobby Hurley was the coach, but that was a great experience.
You got to figure most of them teams that we played against always recruited. We was all in-house.
Yeah, and you played. I mean, you led the team in scoring that game, Asaad. You had 20 points.
Oh, my God.
There you go. You had 20 of the 54 Chester points in that game. And our buddy Jahir Ahmad was a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that Chester had a kid, and I heard so much about him, Malik Ricks.
That was he was.
We could because we needed some size.
Yes, my senior year, we tried to get him to play. He actually played for a little bit, but I guess just grades, like just
I know, but I heard he
wasn't bad at all. He was like 6'7", 6'8", and that was the size we needed.
Right.
We never really had nobody taller than 6'4.5".
Here's the game you talked about before on the show started today. Asaad Brown, Chester High grad, 99, tremendous senior year in basketball. You played, it was at Rutgers University, a Sunday game, and you played Red Bank, who was 14-5 coming into the game. You guys, Chester Clips, were 17-4. Oh, look at that. I got the TT. That's Terry Thomas's phone number right there. Okay, I'm not going to give it out, Terry. It was overtime. You won it 56-54. It was the primetime shootout. And yes, they had Taj Holden, Red Bank, and he was 6'10".
Yes.
They were big. 6'6". Ryan Johnson was 16. They had another kid, 6'7", who got some time. And we pulled it out, Chester.
That might have been my first.
And you had 16 points. You were second in scoring at Jameer.
That might have been my first time at Chester High playing zone.
You had to.
We packed it in. We got the rebound. We pushed it because they was just big for nothing.
Oh yeah. You saw that. And say Andre had 5. Asan, you had 16. Jameer Rashid had 13. Chris Gordy.
Yeah.
Chris Gordy with 2.
That's
and
my guy.
Jameer had 20. Jameer was a junior. But playing this tough competition, and Chester still does it, helps out playoff time, right?
Absolutely. Like we got Chester High in general has one of the toughest schedules.
Year in and year out.
Yes.
I know we lost a couple of kids at the private schools from we're back-to-back District 1 champs. We've been to the state semifinals the last couple of years, but it gives an opportunity for the younger kids to come through. Have you thought about getting into coaching?
I thought about it, but I got too many other things I'm trying to take care of right now. So
Right.
it's always been a goal of mine, the coach, to give back because I know the game. So
All right,
maybe one day.
Yeah, here we go. Postseason time. And were you nervous playing in your first postseason game? Because I have all the scores actually right here. By the way, you averaged almost 16 a game your senior year. You beat we're going to 99. Beat Cheltenham. You had a bye in the first round. Beat Cheltenham 82-60. And then Academy Park, I was not there for that game. You beat them. It was a close game, 66-64. That's the game. You had a big game, and it was an article, as I posted in the Philadelphia Inquirer on my Facebook post.
Yes. That was a big game because that was our rival because we had a lot of people from by Udine Twyman. He was from Chester, but he went to Academy Park. So it was like a lot of tension because I played AAU with them that summer of 98. And they was telling me how they got some new players and they're going to beat us and
right.
It never happened.
And back then, I think you had you made the quarterfinals. Okay, so think you were in the state tournament. I think even if you lost, I think you had to go to a consolation round. But you win that, and then you go to the state. Here we go, overtime. I think it was at Temple against Hatboro Horsham and
Matt Carroll and
yeah,
Pat Carroll.
yeah. Matt and Pat were playing together. The
Yes.
Carroll boys.
Yes.
And tremendous players. Walt Ostrowski, the head coach of Hatboro Horsham, just could not beat Chester. And that game was overtime also, 67-65. So tell us about that game.
I want to say, if I can, I think Jameer Nelson might hit the game-winning shot.
Yes, that's
I
right.
think he did. That was a tough game. Like Matt and Pat Carroll was pretty good. They was good. They could shoot and they was tall. I think they were like
Right.
6'5", and I think Pat Carroll might have been like 6'6".
Yeah, both played Division I basketball.
Yes, I think one with the St. Joe's.
Yep.
And the other one.
I'm trying to think where Matt went to.
Notre Dame, I think.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
I want to say Notre Dame.
Yep. There you go. And their grandfather was a legendary coach out in Western PA. Can you believe that? 1999, Asaad.
Yeah, that's
Unbelievable.
crazy.
Then the game with Pennsbury. I didn't go to that either. And that was at Temple, I do believe. And you guys won that game 59-47. They had a big kid, real strong Kirk Bergman. And what did you think of that atmosphere?
It was. I seen atmospheres worse than that. Like Glen Mills was probably one of the toughest.
Right.
Academy Park, Penwood. You got to figure the shoebox was so small.
Oh, that's a great place. Great
So
place.
Temple wasn't bad at all.
Yeah,
Like it was far away, so we was good.
So you get the ring and great articles. I'm sure you have them in your archives.
Yes.
And the one on the Inquirer that I have, you guys are all getting together and
Yes.
you pulled out. So then we go to the state playoffs in '99, and you play Cumberland Valley in the first round. That game was at Norristown. I actually drove up for that one too. And here's the box score. You win it 68-62, and that was a very tough game. They had a kid who went to play Division I football, if you remember, Cumberland Valley from suburban Harrisburg. His name was Art Thomas. And he had 14 points, but you shut him down in the fourth quarter. And so, it was do or die.
Yes.
And so you pulled it out, and you had 24 points, 9 field goals, and 6 assists. Andre Morton with 19. You had Chris Gordy with 9. Jameer had 9. And you had Lateef Watts. There you go.
Yeah.
So do you remember that game?
I remember that game. I definitely remember that game. Lateef Watts was real good. Like he was real good. He was really, really good. Like he was like our spark.
Yes.
Like he actually against the game against Academy Park, he hit the game winning 3. He got fouled on the 3. It was a 3 and 1.
Oh, yeah. Just remember, you guys lost Rami, graduated, and
Kenny Tate. We lost everybody.
Yeah,
we lost
Kenny
a lot
Tate.
of people.
But Chester always reloads everybody, and you stepped up that year.
Yes.
And before we continue on with the tournament trail, talk about all the hard work you did after 97, 98. It said in the Inquirer article, of course, you didn't like sitting. You didn't like sitting the bench, but it probably made you hungrier.
It made me hungry, and I learned. I think the best thing that happened to me was playing AAU. I played for this organization called Gym Rats.
Yeah, I didn't know AAU was starting that. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Barry from Jersey.
Rick Barry.
Yes.
Great NBA player.
I played out Jersey. So me and Jameer was on the same. We played out Jersey, and that kind of like made me. It worked on my game a lot. I played against better players, and I was ready for like once I got to high school, it was like this is nothing.
So you met Rick Barry.
Yes.
And he's a big part of Philadelphia sports history. Barry was a star. The 76ers have only won 2 NBA championships, believe it or not. Is that your team?
No.
Who's your team?
I like players. I'm not a team person in basketball.
Yeah,
My favorite player is Curry.
Yep, he can shoot. Yeah. And I know his dad because I was in Harrisonburg, Virginia. That's where Dell's from.
Okay.
Dell went to Fort Defiance High School. The father, Steph. So anyway, Rick, 76ers won the NBA championship in '67, and the star player for back then it was the San Francisco Warriors was Rick Barry. And the Sixers won it with Wilt Chamberlain and those guys. A little history.
I heard about that.
And our last championship, believe it or not, was 40 years ago in 1983 with Dr. J.
Yeah.
Our starting center was Moses Malone. He was a rebound machine,
Yes.
which I wish Embiid would be more like. He grinded. Moses and those old school centers, man, they just played like all the time.
We got prima donnas now.
It's unbelievable, but, hopefully, hopefully we can, especially in my lifetime, maybe I can make it 30 years. Hopefully we win one. I'd love to see Embiid get a ring someday.
I will hope it too.
So we're trying. So about the hunger, so you come to 98, 99, and Fred, you had a battle for positions there, right?
Yeah. I had definitely had a battle for position. My 97, 98 year, it was like I had older people playing against ahead of me.
Right. I'm going to run down the roster that 99 team. Andre Morton, Jameer was a senior. Chris Gordy, senior. Jameer, he was set. Sean Pickett, he got some time, did a nice job. And he was a junior. Greg Jackson, big football player, my man. Yeah, Greg Jackson.
He was a bruiser.
Yep. And Lateef was a junior. Naeem Scott,
Yes.
was only a sophomore.
Naeem Scott, that's my guy. Like Naeem might be one of the best passers I've seen in Chester.
Oh, yeah, and he came up big. We'll
His
talk
IQ
about.
was big.
Yes, and Jair Ahmed.
Yes.
A 6'5" sophomore. So tell us about the preseason that year, 98, 99. I mean, it was probably pretty intense.
I think what helped us when we went to team camp. Remember, we used to have team camp in Alvernia.
Alvernia, the great late
think-
great Jack McCloskey.
Yeah, I think that team camp kind of brought us together,
Mm-hmm.
and so we was already ready. We was already hitting all cylinders from the jump because team camp already prepared us.
Right. Dante Holla says hi. He's checking in, and hey, if people have any questions for Asaad or me about those great years, we can write a book about Chester High basketball.
pretty much.
Out there. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. So there you go. So you beat Cumberland Valley. Then the next game is Lancaster McCaskey.
Okay.
That was at the Geigo Complex. Beautiful facility, home of the Reading Red Knights. It was a Wednesday night, March 17th, one day before my 30s. No, I was born in 58, so I was 41. I was old back then, 41, 1999. So second round, do or die states 79-63. You had 14 points, and that was Steve Powell, Chester guy. We'll get to more about Coach Bird in a second, against Fred Pickett, and that was a battle, but you pulled away.
Yeah, that Lancaster, they was always pretty good. They wasn't bad, but we just was. I think our press killed most teams.
Yes, it's amazing because they have a buddy of mine, and he's now coaching La Academia High School in Lancaster City, Jerry Johnson, who went on to play Division I. He was a sophomore in that McCaskey team.
Okay.
He had 10 points, and Chris Wilson was a big football player. So you pull that out, 79-63. Andre with 12, Asaad, that's you, 14. Jameer Rashid, 6. Jameer was incredible.
Yeah, Jameer, Jameer was amazing. Like, he might have been like, I'm going to say my senior year to his, when he went to 2000.
Yep.
He was a whole different player. Like,
Yep.
he was a set shooter my senior year. But that next year,
Amazing.
he was amazing. Like, he must have did a lot of training, and you could just tell he was jumping so high on his jump shot. So
The dunk against Uniontown,
Yeah.
among others.
Yeah.
And so you were, we'll get to that in a minute here. Lateef had 7, and big game, sophomore. Maybe he came into his own that day. 14 points for Naeem Scott.
Yeah, Naeem Scott was a big part of our team. Like, he was a big part. He played bigger than what he was. Like, he was only like 5'9", but he had heart. He played with heart. He had heart and
Charisma, which most Chester players have.
Intensity. Like, while we get over a lot of people, like, they could be more talented than us, but we play with more heart.
Oh, no doubt about
Heart beat
it.
talent any day of the week.
No doubt about it. Asaad. Dan Williams, he
Yeah.
committed a foul that game. Did they bring him up from JV or something?
No, so that was he started. He played all year, but he never really got the
Okay,
game.
well, he got on that team, District 1 champ.
Yeah.
So McCaskey. Then here we go. Williamsport. I know we got to bring it up though. It's part of history.
Oh, that's
and,
fine.
And
cool with
I
it.
get harassed more than anybody, especially on Facebook. The old time Williamsport. Hey, that's the last time Williamsport won a state championship. By the way, they've only won 2.
They shouldn't have won that one. But that's
Yeah, 78-66 at back at the Geigel, and you had 12, and Jameer fouled out. I mean,
fouled
yeah,
out too.
Fred was not happy.
I fouled out. Jameer fouled out.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, and Latif, he fouled out.
Yeah, we had 3 people fouled out.
Naeem had some big shots in that game.
Naeem
The spin in the
and,
lane.
Jameer Rashid had some big shots too.
Yes.
Yes.
And Andre had 15. So
I think it was the Gordy. I think somebody else played pretty
Chris, he didn't score that game. That was a state quarterfinals, and the head coach. This is some good history here. The head coach of Williamsport, and he is a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. Oh, by the way, we'll get the Hollis says. Where did Dante play?
Man, Dante, listen, that's my cousin. He just like talking.
Has he got a game? Okay, he went to Chester High.
Yes.
When'd you graduate, Dante? Yeah, put that up there. All right, so is he? I mean, might be related to Hollis Jefferson. I don't know.
That's my cousin.
Okay, there you go, and incredible. So Chester loses at 78-66, and Williamsport goes on to win their last state championship. It's hard to believe they had Mike Bailey, the head coach. He did something that I don't know if anybody has ever done this in Pennsylvania. He won a state championship as a head coach in Virginia in 93. We'll get to that in a second. And he won one with Williamsport in 99. Mike's originally from Pennsylvania. He coached Allen Iverson in high school. He was the head coach for Bethel High School, 1993. And I was press row for that one when Iverson was a junior and they won the state championship. So Bailey won it in 2 different states, which is amazing. Chevy Troutman played on that Williamsport team.
You know, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy about that. It's a funny story. So when they first came out, they had a bunch of like little players. Like we said to myself, like, this is it? Oh my, they done. They must have went in the locker room and came back out. Man, I'm like, hold on, man. Where is these 6'9" coming from? Like I didn't see them at all.
And they were juniors.
Man, it was huge.
Chevy Troutman, 6'7", and this kid, he should have played in the NBA. He just got in a little bit of trouble, and that was it. Torrance Johnson.
Yeah, he was.
You
big.
held him to 6.
Yeah, they wasn't that. They was just big. They wasn't good.
But
No, he was big, but the other one had a better.
Chevy was more of a.
Yeah.
Well, he played. I think he played football also. So yeah, they had. Then they had a 6'6" sophomore, Ayub Ali, who came on strong later in his career. The top player was Sam Fatherly. He was a guard. We had trouble stopping him.
Yes.
And then they had the crazy man, Muhammad Cannon. He was bald. He was, and you could just see he was talking trash the whole game.
Yeah, they just was. I think a lot of calls didn't go our way, and we played.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and it's part of history.
Yeah.
And the Millionaires win the state championship. Oh yeah, and I actually drove up for that game. They played Erie McDowell, and they kicked their butt. So it easily could have been Chester. It was 64 to 40.
We should have been there. But.
All right, then you graduate in 99, and you said again you didn't go to college right away.
About there.
So what were you up to?
Just playing Pro-Am. That's when Sun Center. That's when the Sun Center.
Yeah.
I played Pro-Am.
Aston?
Yep, in Aston. So I played Pro-Am. And, just played. I was just doing that, and I was working. And then, like I said, Big Haas told me, I want you to come to Cheney, and that's why I did.
So Haas graduated. Was he assistant coach at the time?
No, he was so him, Jamar, Kinder, they was all up there. They was all up there. So I remember he brought me up there. And I just went up there. So then when he left, I ended up going up there. That's why I went to school there.
All right, let me see. I have you made your senior year. Oh, I love, there you are. There you are, man. Number 23. You were going against Glen Mills. They were always tough, weren't they?
Yeah. So what's crazy? So I applied for Glen Mills, and they all had me in a room, and they was asking me questions like,
a job there?
Yeah. So
okay.
Who would be Chester or Glen Mills? I'm like, Chester. Like, just because I'm about to get hired by y'all, I'm still gonna say Chester.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I expect you to say that.
Oh, it was incredible what they had over the years.
Yeah.
Then they got into trouble.
Yeah.
And now they're shut down. So, yeah, it says here, this article, Philadelphia Inquirer, Chris Markaitis. He was a great writer. I lost track of Chris. Man, he says Clippers Brown seizes his chance. There you go. You made second team all mainline Delco boys basketball that year.
I should have made first, to be honest with you. I think Henry Fairfax made it. He was played for, I want to say, like
Haverford School.
they stunk. He just averaged like 20 something, and that's the only reason why.
He did go to Drexel, but you probably were first team all Delco.
Yes.
Public school would have been Andre, you, Jameer, probably, boy, I don't know.
Jeff Miller that went to
Yeah,
Edinburgh.
Jeff, and then you had my buddy Gene Lambert's brother from. Oh no, this is This is Keith Lambert. I'm sorry,
Keith Lambert. Yeah, I remember
Keith from
yeah.
Academy Park. I
Yeah.
know Keith. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
good guy. Good guy. Jim Starkey, Sun Valley, and Wayne Trent Pencrest. So the first team was again Henry Fairfax of Haverford School, private school. Another private school, Ashley Howard.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember him.
He went to Bonner, and it said here he was a senior. And congrats, hey, all these years later, Andre Morton. What an unbelievable player he turned out to be. All hard work.
Yes, I tried to call him to bring him here with me today, but he had
He
he had something to do. So
Yeah, I got another show next week. I think we're going to focus on football, but hopefully down the road. Dave, you are a walking sports almanac. I got help here. I'm cheating a little bit with the books and everything, but still, it's good that I have him here.
Yeah.
Something. Mom and Dad, did they play ball? I mean,
no, my dad played football. My mom,
Chester
my
High?
mom was a cheerleader.
For Chester High?
Yes. No, my dad didn't. I don't think my dad played football for Chester High, but my mom was a cheerleader.
What year? Do you remember what year they probably?
My
were?
mom graduated in 70.
With the Herman Harris?
One,
and those guys?
maybe?
Are you related to any of the Chester greats over the years? Like you got Herman Harris, Len Gordy, all these guys from back in the day.
I
and-
just I know friends of the family of Len Gordy.
Yes.
I know him, but no.
He's doing a great job. So you got Henry Fairfax, Ashley Howard. This is first team, all main line Delco boys basketball, 1999. I just can't believe it. Just seems like yesterday, doesn't it, Asaad?
Yes.
And then Jameer. It said here he averaged 13.8 points a game. He was 6.1 assists, 5.9 rebounds a game, 4.6 steals. And it says here St. Joseph's already offered Jameer a full scholarship, along with Massachusetts, Providence, and a bunch of other Division I programs. Did you ever think he was going to have the career that he had, Jameer? A trendsetter at St. Joe's University. First of all, the state championship the next year, 2000. Then St. Joe's, and then an unbelievable career in the NBA with pretty much the same team, Orlando, for years and years.
So you could see the transformation that he did from his, like I said, his junior to senior.
Right.
Then from senior, I guess the grind that he put in, and he went to St. Joseph's. Like he could have actually left his junior year. I think he said all 4 years. He could have left his junior year.
Exactly.
That's when they had Marvin O'Connor also.
Right.
Like,
I loved his game. He was out of crazy, man. He was intense.
So Jameer was just like, to me, like that's like one of my favorite point guards.
Right. Yeah. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Jeff Randazzo, 6'8" from Cardinal O'Hara. So did you guys get a picture together?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
All right. Second team that year, you, Keith, Jeff Miller, Starkey, Trent. The third team was Michael Cook of Friends Central.
I remember him.
Where my brother Marty, two of his youngest sons went there to play baseball. Joe Corbett, Haverford School, Slayton School, Cash Green. And then Jameer Rashid made the third team.
Yes.
And Dean Twyman he was a junior
Yes.
from Academy Park. He's one of your guys also.
Yes, he is.
So there you go. And then the next year, you knew they had a good chance to win the state championship, but they needed some size.
They got Yakuba.
Yeah, and Kuba Kamara.
Yeah. I think that team, and then you can see how much Jameer got better.
6'11".
Yeah, he was.
Kuba.
he was the anchor. They needed him, and like I said, Jameer and Naeem Scott, because I think Jameer was playing the 2 at the time,
Right.
And
Latif
was playing the 3, and he had Naeem at the point.
Yeah, we have to honor that team. Let me find out. All right, Chester, March of 2000. This is a state final game against Uniontown, and some of the toughest games were, as they usually are, in the East back then. Parkland, and I'm trying to think a state semifinal game. Boy, can you? Oh, I should have that.
Yeah, 2000.
Oh, yeah, Coatesville.
Yeah, that's when
John
they had
Allen.
John Allen. I think 2000. I mean, the main players was pretty much Jameer and Naeem Scott.
Yeah.
They was a main 2. Latif Watts also. Right. He was that, but I think you had
Let's see, we had Jameer.
Hakeem Teller was on that team, correct?
We had Yankuba Kamara. We had my man Mark Bowman.
Okay.
Greg Jackson.
Yes.
Raymond Strickland. He didn't play, I don't think, until his senior year.
Yeah, that's true.
So Ray got in there. He was starting 6'3" senior, and he's still playing with the old heads at the Alumni League.
Yeah.
Doing a great job. Sean Pickett, 2 points. This is against Coatesville. We beat them 63-45. If you remember that in 2000, that game at Villanova.
Was Hakeem Teller on that team, correct?
Yes, yeah. Akeem,
that's my guy. He could play.
Yeah, Akeem was a 6'1" junior.
Right near Bose.
Who had 3 points.
Right
Naeem had 12 in that game. Latif Watts, Sean. Let's see. We had Duron Patrick.
Yeah, I remember.
Ranier was a junior.
Yeah.
Raheem Boast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Thomas.
Yeah, that's my guy.
And Jerome Jones. Jason Jones.
Okay.
Jerome's a big Chester sports fanatic, my man. So anyway, yeah, beat Coatesville. Chester played zone in that game. Because, again, that was a younger Coatesville team. Had John Allen and those guys. They were Bryant, Brickus. Mm-hmm. So Chester beat them 63-45. And, of course, you can't forget on that team, James Swiggett.
Yes. Actually, James Swiggett, he worked at Harity Charter School up at, I think that's like in West Philly. So I ran across him maybe sometime this summer.
Assistant coach for Interborough.
Yes.
And I every year I've been announcing the Chester Biddy League Championship at Showalter, the championship day. And he has a son coming up.
You know what? I'm telling you, somebody just told me about that. He got a son. He's pretty good.
I said he needs to play for Chester High. So there you go. I'm allowed to say that kind of stuff. There you go. All right,
Absolutely.
So, and then James Swiggett had a great game. And then the final was a blowout, 73-48 Chester against a trash-talking Western PA team, Uniontown.
He stunk.
Yeah, we got him. We got him. Beat him pretty good. Jameer had 19, Yankuba with 2, but he was a fly swatter. He was just blocking everything. Ray Strickland with 12. Latif at 17. Sean Pickett had a foul shot near the end of the game. And I remember Sean at the end of the game, and when I was a senior, he threw the ball into the stands when the buzzer sounded.
Sean played a little bit his junior year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, my senior he played.
Yeah, he got in there.
He definitely got in.
So that was Fred Pickett's 5th year, and thank goodness. Thank goodness. We had Naeem with 10, Akeem with 1, Swiggett with 7, and Duron Patrick had 2 big buckets off the bench. If you remember, he was a junior.
Him. Yeah, I remember
so
Jameer.
we lose all these guys in 2000, and we come back the next year, and Chester goes all the way to the state semis again. And Coatesville got us at them. I think Coatesville beat Chester 3 times that year. That was
Coatesville. Who was there at that
It was
time?
John Allen and Brickus and Bryant.
Maurice Bryant.
Bryant.
Actually, I was at Cheney with him.
Yeah, and Maurice, 2 sons, Marcus and Jameer Brickus helped Coatesville with a heck of a run a couple of years ago for like 4-year run. They just couldn't get by the semifinals against the private schools. What do you think of the involvement with the private schools, the Kennedy Catholics, of course, and of course the Philadelphia Catholic League, which came in 2009 into the PIAA state tournament?
I feel like these Catholic schools they taking all the players, because they can recruit and.
Football. I have been hearing some stories about football.
I think everybody just trying to take our kids from Chester.
I've never seen, unless somebody can correct me, like Chester lose 2 guys after being big. not really their freshman year, but Jerkins and Rucker both played a little bit their freshman years, and a lot their sophomore years. District 1 champs, and back-to-back state semifinals. But we ran into the charter Imhotep, who,
Actually, the kid from Imhotep, Edwards.
Oh, Justin Edwards.
I went to college with his mom. His mom
Get
was
out
like
of here.
6'5".
Really?
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5".
He's a nice kid, great player. He's already committed to Kentucky. He's back.
He's pretty good.
Back. Yeah, so we had Jerkins and Rucker, and then Rucker is going to Bonner.
Okay.
And Lorenzo is going to Numa Goretti.
Yeah, Numa Goretti.
And Numa Goretti looking for their 10th state championship there. Goretti is still they're down at 4. They're still at 4A too. I would put all of them in the top class. They have to knock each other off. You're still going to have I
just feel like it's sad that they taking our kids though. But I don't know the circumstances. So
yeah, exactly. Everything's different, but
absolutely.
Hopefully, and I saw some post that Keith Taylor made. And he's doing a great job with the program, and he's just going to work with these younger guys. He's put their work in.
They got to step up.
They're going to have to step up. We still got some guys,
I hope
TC Cobb.
kids. I definitely. That's at the end of the day. I hope it's best for the kids. Whatever they do,
they're still going to play a tough schedule. And Chester football should be fun to watch again this year. So with
Coach Bell, I went to Cheney with him. I went to Cheney.
Wow.
With him.
Yeah.
That's my friend
from Washington D.C. Yeah,
that's
Coach
my friend.
Bell. We have, let's see, I look for the comments here. So, Asaad, just recapping that stuff. I'm glad you can talk about it again. You have anybody else you can talk to about that stuff?
Not really. I pretty much stay low-key. I don't really get into
That's
much.
all right. That's okay. You can talk about it because it's a big part of your life, man.
Yeah.
It's something you'll never forget, and you're still very, very young. All right, back to what you're doing locally. You work at Camelot at Chester High School. Tell us more about what you guys, for people that just tuned in, what you do at Camelot with the rest of the guys.
It's an overage unaccredited program. It's a 2-year program. So if a kid come in there with, below credits, it's accelerated. So we got the class is longer. That's why you get you can earn more credits in our program than the regular upstairs.
Right. So you second floor Chester High. Yeah, I was actually born in that facility. Chester High used to be a hospital.
I remember that.
Chester Hospital.
I heard about that.
March 18th, 1958.
So
never forget. My mom always said I was a day old, and she was in the hospital listening to the Chester District 1 1958 District 1 championship game. Back then, you had to win the district, go to the states, and we lost to Haverford. And she was crying in the bed and a little. So maybe that's where I was, who knows? But how about the Chester floor? It's unbelievable. The gym is unbelievable.
Nice.
Fred Pickett Gymnasium.
It's nice. It's pretty. It's way better than what we had. We had a rubber floor.
It seemed like rubber rims too.
I think the rubber floor gave you a little extra spring.
I'm telling you, that was some incredible days. But they got the banners up, 8 state championships for Chester High basketball, and 18 trips to the state finals. Yes, I know we've lost 10.
That's
but
okay.
Yeah. And
most high schools don't have that.
Yeah,
and we got one high school.
30 trips, 30 appearances in the PIAA State Final Four. It's unbelievable. I mean, 2 of the last 3 years, and hopefully we can do it again this year with a young group. And of course, Kenny Tate's doing a great job. He works with you.
Yes.
Daniel Patika. And you said
Shire McBride.
Shahir, what a great football player and what a job he did for Chester. They went back to the state finals in 2003. He was incredible.
That's my guy. Like he's one of the most hardworking people I've ever seen in my life. He competitive in anything, marbles,
yes,
racing,
right.
Like he just don't he don't quit at all. If you tell him he can't do it, he will not eat and get in shape for 3 weeks just to prove you wrong.
Yeah, he looks great. Oh, he's young. I mean, he only graduated 20 years ago, coming up on 20 years. Yeah. So you got that. Now, Derek Spence. Derek, he helped you out a lot over the years, too. He's not working at Camelot, though.
No,
right now.
No, he ain't.
But Derek, and he was helping out Chester Charter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good basketball. I'm public address announcer actually for the home games.
Okay.
I think they're in their 5th year already. Chester Charter High School, so they're coming on. They're coming on. They have a lot of guys back this year from last year. And now I want to focus again on your first priority, what you're doing there, mentoring and leadership.
It's a nonprofit organization. Like I said, I'm just trying to get back to the kids and help the kids in my community and locally. Right now, I'm located in Southwest Philadelphia. I'm in the process of meeting with a couple of people from Chester this week to try to bring a program to Chester. Like I said, I've been mentoring for years, and I just wanted to make it a foundation.
Teaches you patience.
Yes. I'm just trying to teach these skills, life skills. I'm trying to get, so the ages is from 7 to 17.
Right.
I want to get them while they're young and not too old. Like I said, we can still say these kids, and like we got too many senseless crimes, and like I said, we're gonna be taking trips with the kids, and we're gonna have people come and speak to them, police officers. We're gonna have pro athletes come talk to them.
Oh, really? Who are you going to try to get?
I'm gonna try to get my cousin. I'm gonna try to get Randy down here.
Rondé.
I mean, whenever we got entrepreneurs.
Right.
So it's like people that was locked up before come talk to the kids and try to explain to them, like, listen, the videos you see these rappers with all it's not what it's made out to be.
Oh, you mean the words?
Yeah, it's like just all these like these guns and stuff like.
Oh yeah, I don't listen to it too much, but it's not music the way it used to be, though.
Absolutely.
Especially for us old heads, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a different.
But I'm just trying to bring some positivity to the city.
Yeah, tell them to listen to the oldies but goodies, man. There's some stuff goes, even 2000s is really good stuff. So we have a phone number here, 267-249-1292. This is a very nice flyer.
Thank you
Who
very
did this
much.
for you?
Actually, my partner, it was her idea. Like, it was our idea together, but
Right.
she had someone to do it.
Tell me about your partner, Melissa George.
So Melissa George, she's a friend of mine. Like, I knew her for years, and like I said, she worked with like DHS and stuff like that. So I came to her. In fact, came to each other and was like, listen, let's open up a program. And I was all for it because she's about giving back. And like I said, I'm about giving back. I work for Bosch Chambers. The group home that was over town.
Oh, that's what
worked there
what a
also.
nice guy he is. Yeah.
He's an excellent guy. I
Yeah.
worked there also,
Yeah.
and I love giving back, man. Like I said, less fortunate kids, I don't mind giving. I give them shirt off my back if I have to.
Oh, absolutely. And you need to, is there a way you could incorporate maybe taking the kids to a football game at Chester?
We're going to do everything. We're going to do football games. We're going to do basketball games. We're going to do whatever we could come up with, we're going to do it.
Yeah, and they can see the Clippers
Absolutely.
play some football. We open, believe it or not, the high school football season, Jean-Pierre, is not this Saturday, the next Saturday against the Central Lancers, 11 o'clock in the morning. I hope to see you there. Maybe. Yeah.
So if anybody want to register your kids, go on my Facebook page. It's Asaad Brown. I have a flyer up there. I have a QR code. You can register your kid. Once you register, it's going to come to my email, and I will contact y'all.
So what do you think? CMPradio.net. What do you think of this? It's pretty. I know you've seen it, 5 years in the making. They have a lot of great sponsors you can see on their website. Thank you for the advertisers. And what do you think, man? It's awesome.
Listen, you know what? P is my guy. Like, that's one of my good friends, and he's been telling me he was going to get me up here. You know, like, I'm happy I'm here, but I'm definitely going to come back. Like, once my foundation is up and running, I'm definitely going to come back.
Jean-Pierre, you like the sports stuff, though. That's pretty good stuff. That's good. It's I could go on and on. So again, Asaad Brown, number 23, Michael Jordan's number.
Yes,
there you go.
yes.
For the
You know what? I got that from Bam Mosby. He was 23. That's my guy.
And then he could have played in the NBA too, man.
Yeah, listen, he's a legend.
94 state champ.
Yeah, he's a legend. He one of the people I used to watch when I was a kid down 7th Street.
The dunk in the state final game against Erie Prep. Yes, I'm a walking.
He might got one of the best spin moves. Him and Hakeem Smith got one of the best moves I've seen.
I tell you what, Naeem Scott had a great spin move against Williamsport, and I remember a crazy man. Oh, I love the guy though. Dennis Martinelli. Do you remember Dennis jumping up and down? On the sidelines at the Geico complex.
We used to call him Pesci.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you for coming out to the show. Thank you, Jean-Pierre, and your lovely daughter. Okay, she's ready for action, and she's getting a great experience. She'll be on TV, and she'll be doing some broadcasting someday. So keep it tuned. Asaad Brown, Dave Burman on CMPRadio.net.